The new GTA Online weekly update has some awesome money bonuses once again, but today on the show I have another episode of my free vehicles guide here for you, and these vehicles are ones that you can jump into game and potentially unlock both of them either today or very soon in the future. And we also probably have the game's best vehicle for off-roading here, and if it's not the best, then it's tied with the Camacho for the best off-roading vehicle in the game. And then on the other hand, we have a sport bike, which is actually kind of rare to see, and you'll see why later on, but honestly, it's not really that great. Nonetheless, we'll be checking out both of these here today. I'll be showing you how you can unlock them, as well as, of course, testing out their performance and customization, and jumping onto the track to see if they're actually worth their salt or not, and also worth unlocking or not. So, thank you so much for supporting this series so far. If you are enjoying, then make sure to let me know by dropping a like, and with that being said, let's get started. So, jumping into our first vehicle, this week's Diamond Casino and Resort Podium vehicle is the Declasse Draugur. It is normally priced with a retail value of $1,970,000, and it's available through Southern San Andreas Super Auto's website as a part of the Criminal Enterprises DLC drip feed. And the Draugur is a very solid off-road vehicle here that stands out with solid acceleration. Top speed is nearly 117 miles an hour, which is awesome, so it's a top choice in its category. And while it may not compete with sports cars and supercars on the pavement, you know, the off-roading capabilities are exceptional, some of which we haven't seen before. It thrives on all sorts of rough terrains across northern Los Santos thanks to its ultra-high ground clearance, the large tires you get, and the advanced suspension system it possesses. The braking as well as the cabin protection, though, are not on par with high-performance vehicles, but the Draugur still will compensate for that with outstanding stability and control under all sorts of various driving conditions. Like I said before, if it's not better than the Camacho, it rivals neck and neck with the Camacho as a meta choice for off-roading in GTA Online. It's inspired by that Chevy off-road concept vehicle, and the Draugur overall I would say offers heavy yet smooth handling and turn management, and all in all, it provides an exhilarating driving experience for any sort of off-road enthusiast here in GTA Online. Here is the Declasse Draugur fully customized, ladies and gentlemen, and I must say, for an off-roading focused vehicle, especially like a concept vehicle such as this, the customization options are quite vast. There's nothing crazy that you could do to the actual body, but you can adjust the front bumpers, the rear bumpers, you can add really cool skid plates, you can adjust the doors, of course the wheels, the interior seats, and kind of mess around with the orientation of the wheel in the trunk, or just outright remove it. It would be cool if you could like totally cover the back and, you know, almost sort of like a bed cap and turn it into more of like an SUV almost looking type of vehicle, but nonetheless, this is what we have right now. I just went with yellow and black. I feel like it fits kind of well. Not so sure about the yellow wheels. Maybe I'll just go back to black, but I like the yellow suspension, all that. The detail on this vehicle is awesome. You could see kind of the frame and the suspension right here. It looks great. You have awesome ground clearance, all of that. Everything basically I reviewed. So we're going to do a couple tests here because this isn't going to be your traditional vehicle. Neither is the next one we're going to showcase, which is the LS Car Meet Prize Ride. But we're going to go to the track and just test out the on-road performance real fast, just so you can get a feel of like, you know, does this thing perform well on road at all? Let's find out. So I'm just going to do part of the track I usually do. I usually go up and around and make the right, left, and I go all the way through and I come back into this intersection, just in summary. What we're going to do is we're just going to go up here, make a right, and we're going to stop right here, and we'll do some tests on off-roading on dirt trails. We'll go up into the mountains, things like that as well. So let's just take off. I want to get a feel for acceleration, top speed, handling. We're going to hit this jump as well. I will say, you know, if I can think of any cons right off the rip, I will say that this vehicle is a little bit top heavy when you're off-roading. It's very tall, right? And so you could lower the suspension to give yourself a lower center of gravity, and you're not going to really mess up too much with the off-roading capability, but I just have this thing with the suspension unmodified just to kind of get a feel for how it is. This is always how I've kept it. You can see the acceleration's honestly very great. I would say the top speed is also just, you know, I would say pretty good. It's nothing like exceptional. It's not a supercar. It's not a sports car. This is just like a big off-roading concept, like truck almost. And you can see, like, we've done pretty good with the handling, all that type of stuff. And I would say that there's nothing wrong with the on-road performance of this vehicle. But you can see you hit a truck or hit a car or anything like that, and you kind of just go flipping all over the place. So that is something you got to watch out for. And honestly, with that being said, let's hit this off-road trail coming up here so you could just see, you know, if you're driving in this area of the map, let's kind of keep up the pace. Let's go very quick around these turns, and let's see how far we can get down this dirt trail without, you know, the handling messing up or any of the grip. You could do some drifts and stuff like that. I would say you get excellent off-road grip. You're supposed to. Where this thing is really going to shine, though, is over near the water, where there's a bunch of rocks. I would say you can definitely do some good rock crawling with this vehicle as well. That's kind of where you want to use it. You know, on-road performance, though, if you do take this thing and keep it on the road, it handles great. You know, there's nothing wrong with the on-road performance like I was talking about. There's really no real drawback to this thing. Between this and the Camacho, I think it's personal preference on if you want, obviously, more like a truck-looking vehicle or something more concept-y and like a trophy truck sort of vehicle. This isn't a trophy truck, right? But it looks, I guess, sort of like it, much more than the Camacho would, right? Is what I'm trying to say. So that is some of the off-road performance. Let's take this over near the water now. I think this is a great section of the map to test out this vehicle's capabilities in the water. So let's just do that right now. We'll try going like back and forth across the river and just seeing like, you know, how deep we can go. I know the snorkel, I don't think it actually works. I'll test that towards the end. But just so far, coming through the water right here, it can power through. You're not going to run into much trouble actually going through the river just normally. But let's see different parts of the map, like over here where we try and get all the way across, pull ourselves up onto this side. You can see it handles all these bumps. It can absorb them all. You're not really going to flip unless you're going real fast. I would say that's where this vehicle struggles, is going too fast on something bumpy, then you're going to encounter issues. Let's take it through this rapid section. You think we can get all the way to that side? I'm not actually too confident about it. I'm not going the fastest either, but we can kind of just power right through. I love that. You'd see a lot of other vehicles kind of slow down and stop. So let's take it up over here. Let's just see, you know, let's also kind of go through here. Let's stick to the water and just kind of take it slowly and see how you can just eat up all the different types of inclines. I would say the suspension travel's awesome. You can see that beautiful axle articulation on this thing. I'm not taking this thing for the maximum off-road here, as you can see, but, you know, it still handles all the normal stuff you would do pretty well. Let's work our way over here. Let's go very slow. We just completely submerged underwater. I think if we hung out there any longer, the car would just crap out on us, obviously. But by the water, this car handles great. Okay, here we are up by Mount Chiliad, right? I think we're just south of it. So let's see hill climbs and let's see how this thing can do. This, not many off-roading vehicles can make it up this cliff face unless you're going really fast. And I would assume, you know, let's just take it on a normal speed and try and launch ourselves up. It can do that no problem. But what if we were going, oh, I don't want to go all the way off the cliff. Let's see what would happen if we were to go and stop right in front of it and then just try and inch our way up. Could we actually pull this massive vehicle up there? We have these big, grippy tires. Let's see what happens. We actually could do it basically perfectly. We're good to go. You could see we could stop on the hill too after we go into the air and land before we start rolling back like crazy. This car can grip up. It can get you up there. And like, let's try it again right here. Can we just... Wow, this thing is... I mean, I've driven this a bunch before. I haven't actually driven it in a while on my channel, and I gotta say, I'm really not disappointed at all with this vehicle. This is basically a vertical incline here, and the Draugur just went up. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be able to pull ourselves all the way up that, but that's ridiculous, right? I wouldn't expect any vehicle in the game to be able to do that. I want to head over to the other side of Mount Chiliad as well, just to see how this thing can handle going full speed up a hill, because you're gonna see just how awesome this thing is. If you aren't sold on it yet, just wait one moment. I remember I took the Canis Seminole Frontier up this route, and I was just trying to showcase like the axle articulation and the suspension and all that, but look how quick you can haul cheeks up Mount Chiliad. I mean, this thing just bombs the hill. You gotta be careful to go flying off. Oh, our hood popped off. I gotta be honest, I didn't even know that could happen. I guess I've never like bumped into enough things with the Draugur yet for that to happen. It doesn't look bad with the hood off though. It looks pretty cool, honestly. But you could just see, I mean, you can go right up. Speed is your friend with this Draugur as long as there's not too many bumps. This thing is meant to go fast. It's meant to climb hills. It's meant to go through the water. It's meant to hit the dirt trails. Like I said, top 2 off-roading vehicle in the game. Maybe even top 1 if you don't like the Camacho as much as this. I don't know which one I like more. I think I like the Camacho just because it looks like an actual truck as opposed to this. And so I'd want to take that everywhere inside the map. You know, across the map. I haven't parked my nightclub with the rest of my trucks. But the Draugur is pretty awesome here in GTA Online. I recommend you pick it up. This week's LS Car Meet Series prize ride is the Principe Lectro, and it's available for $997,500. You can actually get it discounted for $750,000 if you complete the pack standard heist. But of course, if you're looking to unlock this vehicle for no monetary cost, you need to complete the prize ride challenge, which is placing top 2 in LS Car Meet Series races for 2 days in a row. The Lectro is a motorcycle in this game that delivers just fairly average performance metrics across the board. I would say it's comparable in speed and acceleration to the Principe Nemesis, but what sets the Lectro apart is the kinetic energy recovery system, also known as KERS, and you get that boost with it. And so if it's active, you can activate it by pressing the left stick, and once you do this, this feature is basically going to allow you to get a temporary speed boost, and that's refilled by releasing the throttle. And while using the KERS boost, the Lectro can briefly match the pace of faster bikes like the Akuma, for example, but the advantage is only going to last for a few seconds before your boost depletes and the bike will start to lag behind them again. Handling wise, the Lectro also feels heavier for this kind of bike, and because of that, you also can't perform a wheelie at high speed. You get featured with a rough, high-revving engine sound that does share its likeness with the Double T and the Akuma, so it sounds okay, but honestly, this bike isn't that great at all. You'll see why in this gameplay. Pretty much every other bike in the game is going to be better than this. And now here is the Principe Lectro, of course, your LS Car Meet Series prize ride for this week. We haven't seen a bike as the prize ride for a long time, but this is it right here. I'm rocking like sort of a metallic purple paint job. The most unique feature is the KERS, the kinetic energy recovery system on this bike. So if you see in the bottom left-hand corner by my minimap, you can see that yellow bar, that special meter. You can activate KERS, you get the little special boost. It only lasts for a couple of seconds. And very briefly, when you use it, you can keep up with like the Bati or the Akuma or any of those bikes, but you're going to quickly lag behind once you run out of that boost. And so you need to not use the throttle to recover it, and you can see it takes a long time to recover it. So it's not something you can abuse to keep up with other bikes in the game. This is just a very average performing motorcycle. I'm not even going to test it out a ton because I already know how it is. And I must say, like, is it worth actually doing the LS Car Meet Series Prize Ride Challenge to unlock this bike? No, I don't think so. The Bati's going to be better. The Shitaro, the Nagasaki Shinobi, the Western Power Surge, the Hakuchu Drag, obviously, especially with HSW upgrades, like all those bikes are better. Does this bike even handle that well if the top speed and the acceleration aren't going to be that great? Is the handling super exceptional? No, actually, the Double T that we reviewed last week is much better in the handling department. The top speed lags on that vehicle as well. This is a $750,000 bike, and is it actually worth you buying? I don't think so. Is it worth you doing the LS Car Meet Series Prize Ride Challenge to unlock it? No, I also don't think so. Like I was saying, that Double T was $12,000 either last week or a couple weeks ago, and it's obviously way, way, way better value than this bike. This is not worth it in the slightest bit. I'm actually kind of done reviewing it. You can see you can't even wheelie. Can you stop me? Nope. I'll just say it. This is the first vehicle yet so far in like a month and a half of me doing this free vehicles guide each week. This is the first vehicle I could say is just straight trash. Don't buy it. Not mad about it. I'm just trying to let you know, don't buy it. You should save your money, obviously. Does it look kind of cool? I'm not even so big of a fan of the style. I mean, Street Fighters definitely appeal to like a niche motorbike crowd, but I just don't like the big headlamp. That's my one real criticism on the actual look of the bike. Everything else looks kind of cool about it. You know, the cage, the frame, the exhaust, all that. But that headlamp is way, way too big. It's not in a good style, things like that. Can we even wheelie off the line? Okay, we can, and I just pulled it back too far. Okay, I'm done. And that's pretty much it right there. We're gonna wrap things up right there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. You know, I would say the Principe Lectro is one of the worst bikes you could probably get in GTA Online. Not worth doing the prize ride challenge to unlock it. Not worth buying it. The Draugur, on the other hand, of course, if you can't win it at the podium, because I would always recommend you try and spin the lucky wheel and try and get that vehicle for free each week. If you can't win it, this vehicle is just worth buying at full price, 100%. It is expensive. Oh, sorry guys, it is expensive, but it's totally, totally worth it. It's like such a stark contrast in this video. We had one of the best vehicles for its class in the game, and then one of the worst vehicles in that vehicle's class in the game. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at HazardousHDTV. All of my social media links will be found in the description down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios, amigos.